Welcome back. Again, my name is Casey, and this is Taylor, and we are part of HSC. A group of us, Taylor, me, Gavin, um, people who are super fans of Mass Effect, have made a RPG book to go along with Cyberpunk Red. And today we are talking about the soldier class. And basically, in my mind, if you want to be Adam Smasher or Morgan Blackhead, or what's his name? Morgan Blackhand? I said head. What are we doing? Take this class. Taylor, break it down for us.
Yeah. So, I mean, really, translating soldier to Cyberpunk Red isn't hard. It's basically you play Cyberpunk Red, you're just really cool with your gun, or you have cooler weapons and guns and armor. So it's very, very easy. Obviously, follow the gun rules as gun rules. All of that is going to be the same when you're talking about any sort of soldier things. Armor piercing still in there, like incendiary, all of those things. Though maybe, which we'll talk a little bit about in a later video, we may have made some like cool ways to be even more armor piercing and super badass. But for the most part, it's all going to be the same, with the exception, which I don't know if we want to go into this like right now, but eventually we will talk about the battle armor, which is considered heavy armor, but you're not going to take penalties if you are a soldier exclusive player. I would say really that's about the only difference that I can think of. It's a pretty straightforward, very good intro class to play if you're not super jazzed about trying to learn Cyberpunk differently.
You want to go and point things and be awesome at shooting things.
Yeah.
What is it you said before the recording? Not every solo needs to be a soldier.
I would say like solo and soldier are going to go very, very well together. I don't think that every solo player necessarily needs to be a soldier, but anyone playing a soldier needs to be a solo, because it would be super cool to be a solo adept. It'd be a super cool solo infiltrator. Like that would be super handy anywhere else. But to be a soldier and then a med tech, it's not gonna fly very well. You're gonna want the freaking fumble recovery, all of the cool solo abilities. You're gonna want them so you never hit and you just smash. It's gonna be so good.
So
good.
Soldier class, especially those who wanted to be pure soldier, probably has one of the cooler abilities out there in my personal opinion, and that is the battle armor. This is how you become, like I said, the Atom Smasher, or other ones.
As close to a cyborg as you can be without actually cybering yourself out.
You want to, hey folks, you want to be that cyber biotic motherfucker that has no problems, but you also want to be a kind-hearted person that likes animals. You don't want to do this. You're going to want to do this because it's the only way that you're not going to become a psychopath.
No humanity loss here, unless you also add on cybernetics, and then you're a monster. But go for it.
I mean, Lauren had to do that when she wanted her third arm.
Sure.
I'll break it down real quick about the battle armor, explain how it's useful for your pure soldier class. Like Taylor said earlier, this is heavy armor without the movement penalty. You basically can take a lot of hits, and also you get these special abilities that are called battle armor mods. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Let me bring that up. Editing.
While you're looking for that, just heads up. So the Infiltrator and the Vanguard, you are still going to get awesome abilities within the soldier class. Obviously, those are going to be tailored more towards your gun and your ability. You're going to have things like Assassinate, Turbocharge, that sort of stuff. So you will still have the ability to shoot and be an amazing soldier. You're just not going to get these super awesome battle armor mods, because the mods need this giant hunk of metal to work. They're not going to work on your normal armor. So That's why it is very specifically soldier only.
And also, you basically trained with this.
Yeah.
This is why you don't get the penalties. Like, you're not necessarily going to be the fastest. Well, no, because you can become the fastest thing because you trained in this armor. That's why you don't have
And you put those points in movement? Yeah, go for it.
You can be literally the juggernaut if you choose to. So, like, yeah, this, and the idea basically came from me personally with this was, if you played Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, there was that soldier class that had which is the first armor mod that we put in here, which the Hawk missile system, what was it, the T6 battle suit? And I was like, that makes sense. I want that in this game. So basically, like, that's where the mods came from in my mind. So, like, you get these specialized mods that you can add on to your suit. So, like, your Hawk's missile launchers, or you have, like, a special unit that gives you, like, the devastation mode that basically is anti-dazzling. Think of, like, a drop-down shield so you don't get hit with, like, you know, flashbang grenades. Also can increase your weapons, that kind of, like, in weapon damage, and increase your shields by 5. Like, that's one of the abilities that this thing has.
A super cool one too is fortification, where you get hit, you use that, you soak in that energy, that kinetic energy, and blast it back onto someone in a painful brawling attack, which, following Cyberpunk Red rules, ignores half armor. If you got your shields down and they deal some good damage to you, and then you just run up and punch them in the face, ooh, get them.
I think both David and Gavin have one-shotted, like, decently strong enemies because of that. Like,
it's crazy.
Now, the one that brought a lot of this to our game is Havoc Strike. Havoc Strike, in the Mass Effect 3 game, was a Turian, a soldier who basically could fly around, like, does a little jump thing with, you could put, basically, you become Iron Man. Now, GMs, I think I have it written down there, they need piloting skill. They cannot just be like, I have Havoc Strike and I'm gonna, no, you need to, it's gonna be one of those ones that is rolled on a piloted skill check. And it also requires jets on the armor, minimum of +1 on piloting checks. So it's like, they have to be good at piloting, because you got all that mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
But so, like, there's these really cool armor abilities, and there probably will be more in the supplement book at some point. But, like, these core ones right here, we felt like was really good for, like, a good overall, like, this is what I'm doing, this is kind of what it's about, type situation. But
yeah,
that isn't the last of it.
No. But with these like stock ones, I think Gavin Casey has done an amazing job with making the soldier fun, because I feel like so many times you get in this way of, like, okay, there's, like, a magic system, which is really cool, or you can, like, hit things. It's like, it just feels more lame. You have so much that you can do to rush across the field, do a lot of damage, fly up here, do this. Like, it feels very viable and powerful without being overpowered, but without being underwhelming. You know, it's got a nice mix of it all.
Like, let's go out of the armor class. Let's take the one that I wasn't okay with, but man, did Gavin pitch it really multiple times to me, which was Turbocharge, which is an Mass Effect Andromeda one. As a part of your attack, you activate Turbocharge. When activated, auto fire shots will get an automatic ×3 for SMGs, ×4 for rifles, and its armor piercing. This ability allows the auto fire without expending ammo. Basically, you're a bullet hose, and if you got an LMG, you could just be like, cool, I want that person over there to be about as holy as Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's what you do.
Yeah. Which is
so
cool. Assassinate,
and it's an automatic.
Times I felt so badass. And this is coming from someone who has never liked combat in a TTRPG that much. Like, it always feels slow. It always feels repetitive. It feels like you're a one-trick pony. Not in this. Like, even if you are just full on soldier, that's all you have, you can assassinate, and then you can havoc strike off the ground up to the freaking perch in the top, assassinate, then come flying down and then punch the crap out of someone after they've shot you and you're using your fortification. Like, it can be different constantly. You're not just, okay, I attack twice, bonus action, I rage. No, you can do so much. It's so fun.
And GMs, and then this is going for all combat, but we talk about it because Soldier is the easiest one to translate to combat. Allow your players to be creative in how they want to solve their issues. It never ceases to amaze me what my players have come up with. Like, I don't know, a karaoke bomb, karaoke machine bomb,
and fog.
That was
karaoke machine, fog machine, bomb. Yeah.
Improvised explosive device. It was amazing and highly fucking frustrating for me as well.
Mm-hmm. I think also on that dirty though, you can get some dirty mods.
Oh yeah,
you can get some dirty mods to put on your armor.
So GMs, and Taylor, you brought this up before we recorded, and I'll say it: if you're running an up and up game, which not a lot of Cyberpunk GMs are, but if you're one of those few people who want to be Dougly Do-Right, you should probably not allow your soldier who has, illegal mods, right? Because we do have illegal mods here, not council space friendly.
Don't let them have it for their free upgrade. Make them fight for a little bit, and like Casey said too. If they got them, they gotta hide them when they get into reputable areas. You can't go walking on the Citadel with your ballistic blades, which we'll go over in a second, and not think you're gonna get in trouble.
Well, I mean, just in general, right? So, you gotta think of it like this, right? You're walking down the Presidium, and what's gonna put those hoity-toity motherfuckers at alarm? Probably somebody walking around looking like Master Chief.
Yeah, maybe even just your battle armor. Yeah, just your normal battle armor with your normal mods. Maybe not even the illegal ones. Maybe, because that's what we went on Ilium, and it was like, Lauren, you can't walk around looking like you're a one-man army. Like, that's not going to work. So think of that as well as an interesting way to kind of puppet your players.
Yeah, it's like I said, we went to Ilium. Lauren, which is hilarious to watch Gavin play that out in his head. He's like, I don't know what to do now. Because we've been on Omega. Omega doesn't care.
Yeah.
Ilium's trying to hide that they're a piece of shit planet.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yep.
So, GMs, make sure, just not even with illegal mods, don't let them, if you're having a hard time trying to keep your soldier under control, take it away. It's okay to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
But now let's break it down with these illegal mods. These are really fun. These were my personal favorite to ride up.
They're very fun, and I think they bring up an interesting point, which is another way you can kind of wrangle in some of your soldiers so they don't get too powerful. So ballistic blades, for an example. So the weapon uses the shotgun ability score in the shotgun DV table. Ballistic blades are worn on the opposite arm from your Omni tool. So now you know, okay, one arm has to have the Omni tool. This cannot be on it. They're now limited to that. If they have other weapons, other things that are taking up whichever off arm, that's bad. It houses a ring of blades that propel towards your target at frighteningly fast speeds. On a hit, it deals 5d6 damage, ignores half armor like a melee attack would. Treats shield as normal. If shields are down on the target before the attack is made, the injury causes a lasting bleed effect, meaning at the end of every round they move more than 4 meters on foot, they take 5 damage directly to their HP. Do you see why these are illegal and why they should be very hard for you to let your players have? Because then it takes, for the bleeding character, a DV13 paramedic or first aid check to end this effect. Also, have your players fight like a gang and have the big bad of the gang have this and fuck up your players, and then they can loot it after they kill them if they kill them.
I feel like that was direct. Like, hey, Casey, you should probably put that in.
Hey,
there.
Casey, I like really want to change.
Yeah, I
So
hear you, Renos. You have, again, we talked about it in the last video. You do have a very smart Solarian that could probably break something up.
Currently, he's working on my grapple gun belt. One project at a time.
I fucking forgot about that stupid thing. I forgot to have him roll that stupid thing.
I did too. We had too much going on.
The next one is like blade armor. This is for your people who like to fight hand-to-hand combat style and just want to control that wholeheartedly. If grappled, you activate your blood armor as you use it as an action, causing spring lock sharp objects to pop out across the surface of the armor. Be creative, players, on how you want this to look like. Do you want this to look like what it looks like in Mass Effect, or do you want to look like a goddamn porcupine?
Look like a horny toad. Just like
funny. The grapple must succeed on a DV-18 concentration check or immediately drop the grapple. And on a fail, so if they fail that, they take 3d6 damage, ignoring half target armor. In addition, you deal 1d6 to all brawling attacks while blade armor is activated. If you activate it outside of a grapple scenario and somebody is attempting to grapple you, they must roll a DV-18 concentration to successfully grapple. This weapon is highly illegal and should be concealed. If caught, you can face serious jail time.
Yep. Oh, looking at the submission net, I just noticed it also has to be worn on the opposite hand, your Omni tool. So guess what? If you do happen to find a bunch of illegal mods, you gotta pick one. You can't have both of the arm ones. Sorry about you. Give some limits. Give some struggles. Give some thoughts to your players.
These are, and do that for all of them, but like definitely these illegal mods. Now, I do have more ideas for more illegal mods, but we have these three, the last one being a submission net. Submission nets are weapons worn, again, like Taylor said, opposite side of your Omni tool once per combat round. You shoot an electric net out towards two targets within 2 meters of each other. So if they're basically right next to each other, you can get them. You will roll on the shotgun's chart skill, so you got to be fairly close. And that roll is contested with their evasion, no matter what the ref score is. So in
they're going to see a giant net coming at them. Yeah, they're going to avoid it.
So to make this fair, okay, GMs, I had to make it fair. Anyone can avoid this. This isn't like a fast-moving bullet. It's a net.
Yeah, it's essentially like a melee or a brawling where you see it coming. It's not so close.
Yeah. So, like, evasion roll, no matter the ref score, if caught in the net, they are incapacitated for the rest of combat and take 2d6 directly to their HP. So it ignores armor, it ignores all that shit, it just goes directly to their HP with the initial electric shock. It can be upgraded to take out 4 enemies within a 2-meter immediate range. So you can get 4 of them. So let's say you're on Omega. You're not the greatest person in the world. You got to get this job done. Arya's been up your ass. Like, God damn it. You grab this mod from the shady Elcor seller. All right. And you got like 4 blue suns there. You just be like, all right, I'm going to stealth up to them. I'm going to hit them with the quick one. And now they're incapacitated for the whole combat round. Or like, see, you can give these, these are how you can use this, right?
I think that brings up an interesting point too. Like, we're talking about these soldiers being these just like giant freaking tanks and like so powerful, but you could still be a sneaky motherfucker because you're not taking disadvantages to your movement and to your ref and to those things. If you want to build a soldier class who, you flavor it that your armor is a little more fitting, you have a submission net, you have these other things, you could, like, maybe you use more melee weapons and bladed weapons and stuff. You could play it as like you are a terrifying assassin,
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to. We default to Big Master Chief because that's who we play with, because Lauren is Big Master Chief. But you could take some of these abilities and use them on this, like, you just break a neck real quick after you snuck in somewhere because you're not taking those penalties for that armor, you know?
So these are kind of the mods. GMs, be aware of how these show up, right? All of them should cost money. And I know some of you are like, well, what about the free upgrades? Well, for soldiers, maybe, again, they're tech buddies. You know, again, worded as my tech guy did this, or I found this. Like, for
maybe
me,
build it in when you know you're going to level them up, that they find it wherever they are. Or
like
your captain gives you one because he's really nice.
Yeah, that's what I did for, well, they found
Havoc
it.
Strike, but yeah,
and just so happened that the character, Camus, was a Havoc Strike Turian. He was a combat Havoc Strike Turian, so he's like, he took it upon himself to teach Lauren so she doesn't fucking die. So, like, yeah, just plug that in. And for, like, the illegal mods, there's always a shady character on the Citadel somewhere. But make them cost. I will say this, and we're not going to make a rule because not everybody's going to want to follow that. I can see it. But for me personally, GMs, these should not be free upgrades. These should always cost. Yeah, the illegals should always cost money, and an exorbitant amount of money. Make your players, if they want to be bad guys, make them pay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not necessarily
they raid the ballistic blade armor off of a guy. They're gonna have to pay to get it installed. Like, you know, you can still have them find it, but then they gotta pay. Like, it shouldn't be easy at all. Or if they nearly freaking die, like nearly kill them with them so that they've paid a little bit emotionally.
Yeah, it was like the illegal mods should be killed. And again, when it comes to these armor mods, tell us about it.
Yeah.
You know?
What kind of character should you make? I want to make a stealthy soldier now.
Right? There's so many characters we can make. But
I'm just going to make all these characters as NPCs for y'all to play. Same socials, everything down below. If you're interested in playing like biotics or learning more about what this world is that we've kind of put together, go watch our past videos. And then we're going to talk about tech coming up next and what you can do there. And then after that, we'll talk about weapons and weapon mods and drugs and enhancements and all of those other fun little things that come in the Mass Effect world that we're putting in here.
Let's try to flesh out this world.
Yeah.
But
until then, have fun, play well.
May all your rolls be crits.
I hope David and Rich don't sue us.
Probably not.
Cease and desist.
Cease and desist, please. I can see Rich doing that. I'm kidding, Rich. I love you.